In today's fast-moving world of fashion, there's a revolution taking place.
I think women today want it all, and I think they can have it all.
A revolution that is set to transform the way we look.
You just look fabulous, that's all you need to know.
Battle lines are being drawn.
Or you adapt or you die.
This is going to change people's lives.
Troops are being deployed.
When there is a body required, they call me, yes.
In this all-time battle of the bras.
Now, try this new way to accent your figure. Cross your heart, see? You're suddenly shapelier.
The bra, a symbol of women's femininity, burnt by some and cherished by others, a support in their search for self-improvement.
Cleavage is a very powerful thing. I have to say, it's a very powerful thing.
When all is heading south, it is this small piece of fabric that will hopefully lift and separate. And for those who design and manufacture that support, it means big business too.
Underwear has become outerwear.
What you're presenting to people is a confident image of yourself, not so much a picture of large breasts with huge cleavage. It's about you, the whole you. Well, a woman always wants to appeal to a man, I suppose, doesn't she? And that all comes down to sex appeal.
Could do with some of that.
Big breasts have always been and always will be.
Man's obsession with cleavage is a primeval thing.
Women want to look sexy, they want to be, that's just kind of natural.
It doesn't matter what age of the guy, if he sees a lovely looking girl and she's got a bit of cleavage, the head turns. And the girls like it. Don't care what anybody says, the girls like it.
Every year, over 6 billion bras and briefs are sold across the world. It's a lucrative and hard-fought market that's worth over $30 billion.
I think the marketplace is hugely competitive. It's a dynamic, truly dynamic marketplace.
It's a war, really. Obviously, the battle lines are drawn up around products, advertising, selling techniques, space in stores, but it's just as much a war as a military war.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But the bra is both a practical necessity and a fashion statement too, with women possessing a wardrobe of bras to suit many different occasions and needs.
Buying lingerie, buying food, going to a nice restaurant, booking into a nice hotel. These are all things that answer a very emotional need, and I think lingerie buying falls into that category.
As women gain more spending power and the choice of products increases too, the market looks set to grow and grow.
What we're finding now, it's very driven by the consumer, because the consumer knows what she wants and she will not sort of be compromised. And if you're delivering something in the wrong way, then it will not be bought. I would say the consumer now is definitely the driving force behind the marketplace.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Today's glossy, high-profile image of the bra is far removed from its origins as a simple item designed to meet a simple need. And as the bra approaches 100 years old, just how did the business begin? Today's battle of the bras is worth billions of dollars every year, and the love affair between a woman and her bra is nearly a century old. From the earliest camisole to the latest celebrity-fronted push-up and plunge. The design and manufacture of lingerie has been influenced by fashion and by world events. And its history reflects how women have adapted to change in their everyday lives.
This is the story of how your bra
began. Beginning at the turn of the 20th century, the story of the bra is also a story of changing times.
The period between 1900 and the end of the First World War was probably the most important period. Young women, often called the revolting daughters, wanted a more practical and freer life, and that went as far as their clothes were concerned as well.
The first manufacturing patent for the brassiere was issued in 1914, and although it covered the breasts, most of these early bras offered very little in terms of either uplift or structural support.
So the bra, I think, is really on the map by the end of the First World War and 1920s. But in a strange way, it doesn't look like a modern bra.
In the jazz era of the 1920s, some of the younger, more liberated women created a deliberate fashion for flatter chests.
It was going to be an emancipating decade. They were going to get the vote at the end. They were indeed free.
So the bra, instead of being something to endorse a kind of very female view of women, became kind of a way of showing that you actually didn't give a toss about the kind of traditional femininity. You were going to design your own version of being a woman. So we ended up with lots of flat-chested, short-haired, boy-like women.
But in the decade to come, all this was about to change.
Well, the interesting thing about the 1930s, there's this theory that American men had grown up obsessed with the breast, not for sexual reasons, but because when they were children, there was a vogue in the sort of turn of the century, early 1910s, 1920s, for breastfeeding, but according to a very strict rota. So you got breastfed at 8, 12, 4, whatever. And for that reason, a lot of American men grew up very, very hungry, and they actually became fixated on the breast, not for sexual reasons, but because they associated it with maternal deprivation.
The most thrilling Western of all.
The voluptuous woman sort of reached its epitome with Jane Russell in The Outlaw, which was regarded as so enormously erotic. And in fact, she was probably showing far less than the average girl on the street shows now.
The Outlaw.
One of the things that Hollywood wanted to emphasise was the female figure, particularly the bosom. With that comes the emergence of cleavage. Flesh was big business now.
The Second World War produced a shortage of raw materials and an emphasis on inexpensive and simple bra designs. But when the war was over, it was full speed ahead once again. Still enthralled by the movies and their stars, a new younger market began to emerge. A market heavily influenced by teenage girls. They were looking for a completely new style of bra, and they found it in the bullet bra.
The bras emphasise the breasts to then identify a small waist. Fashion is always a matter of balance. So if you like, it was almost going back to 100 years before, of the tight waists with the corsets and a very, very prominent bosom.
London is all shook up by a rock and roll fashion show.
But an even greater era of change was about to arrive in the swinging 1960s.
The pill brought about a sexual revolution. Women's lives changed because of it, there's no denying. And their underwear changed as well. They took over the reins of their own destiny.
As a sign of the changing times, the 60s saw the first bra commercials hitting our TV screens.
Darling, I love your dress. It does wonders for your figure.
Although these ads were breaking new ground, you still couldn't show anyone actually wearing a bra.
So that's your secret.
Honestly, any girl can look shapelier. Even you.
As the decade continued, there was the launch of the first revolutionary version of the Wonder Bra, specifically designed to enhance and uplift the breasts. And yet at the very same time, there were those who would abandon bras altogether in favour of letting it all hang out.
In 1968, at the Miss America contest, a lot of female liberationists, as they were called, women liberationists, got together, set up a big trash can in which they asked other women to throw all what regarded as symbols of male oppression. That included lipsticks, false eyelashes, and, of course, the brassiere. And out of that came the myth that women liberationists were bra burners. I mean, the bra was never burnt, but it certainly was chucked out well and truly.
It isn't a sexual thing, it's a natural thing.
Whilst the feminists were going their own way, other women had other ideas.
Suddenly, there's somebody like Janet Rager, the queen of underwear at this time. She decides to develop the romantic, seductive, erotic, soft porn industry, if you like. And she does it almost single-handed, but she makes it very exclusive. Go on a few years, we get into the 1970s and the 1980s, and Margaret Thatcher years, power dressing is important. So we're back to underwear and bras, which again establish the female form as almost a statuesque, upright, impregnable.
The years that followed saw the rise of the ultra-thin supermodel, and a skinny, waif-like figure was back in vogue. But the arrival of the 1990s brought the successful relaunch of the Wonder Bra, with the famous Hello Boys campaign, putting bust and cleavage back on top. And now, as we approach 100 years of the bra, can there be any new directions left to explore?
There will never ever be the perfect bra. It just won't happen because A, manufacturers don't want it like that, and women don't.
After a century of changing fashions, the big bra manufacturers are still bringing out new products in their battle to stay ahead. And what the modern woman now demands is an ever-increasing choice. The choice to create a wardrobe of bras.
When you want to feel sexy, when you want to feel glamorous, then there's a bra that fits that mood. When you're wearing a tight t-shirt or you need something that's very smooth and just offers support, there's a bra that fits that. So what women are offered now is a bra to suit every occasion, to suit every mood.
So suddenly we've gone from a woman maybe just having 3 or 4 bras that are very comfortable and maybe one sexy one that's not quite so comfortable. She might now have 10, even 20 bras in her underwear drawer. And that's been a huge change, and that's really fuelled a lot of growth in the market.
You know my point? When I say this, I say it like...
Although the big guns still have the upper hand, as the industry itself passes through change, new names are finding it easier to mount a challenge for market share.
In terms of manufacturing and production, it is easier to come into the market now. It's been made more simple by the fact that you can go to the Far East, you can source product and bring it over and put a label into it. There's
a lot less barriers to entry for people to go and get product which looks good, is a good price and is a good fit. And that's allowed these other people in the marketplace to enter. What it's meant for the brands is we've got to be working even harder to find out what women want and then delivering on those needs.
If we look back historically at lingerie development, it has been very much about manufacturers developing brands. And certainly what we've seen over the last few years is somebody with a great idea or with just a great vision can go and set up a brand and identifying it almost as a consumer and saying, I like this and I think other women will like this.
That's it. Really intense. Look straight into the camera.
One of the most famous new bra manufacturers is Scottish businesswoman Michelle Mone of MJM. Michelle developed a radically new technology for creating the Ultimo, a cleavage-enhancing bra that is equally comfortable to wear.
But a lot of bra manufacturers cheat when they're doing photo shoots because the models pull in their breasts. You don't have to because this bra does it for you.
Born and bred in Glasgow, Michelle Moan's vision was to develop a cleavage-enhancing bra that tackled the difficult problem of combining a desirable look with a comfortable fit.
What do you think of colour rather than black and white with the blue through shirt? Looks like she's got hypothermia there.
The idea came to me when I was going to a dinner dance one night with my husband, because I'm not particularly well endowed, and after breastfeeding 2 kids, I'd lost about half a cup size. So I began wearing really uncomfortable bras, and as soon as you took them off there was red marks everywhere. I thought there must be a way of getting a cleavage but the bra being very comfortable. It's perfect, Mary. How does it feel?
It feels really comfortable.
So it feels as if you don't have a bra on? Yeah? And look at your cleavage.
Can't believe it's
My goodness.
But what are the advantages of having a bust-enhancing bra that uses silicone gel bags sewn into the cups?
So you would buy one? I would. Good. If you push your bust in towards you, the gel sinks to the side and holds you in place. It forms a second skin. And if you pull the breast up the way, the gel will sink underneath the breast and hold the breast in and up. Instead of most cleavage plunge bras are heavily padded and you're very restricted in them. And they don't look natural either. This bra is very natural. So how does it feel when you... I mean, do your breasts bounce with you?
Initially, in your hand, the bra feels quite heavy, but on the body it doesn't. And it really does mould to you. But I mean, I've never had a cleavage like that in my life, and I'm 53.
It just pulls you together and gives that really awesome kind of cleavage look, where obviously right now I don't really have that. Show and tell right now.
Cleavage-enhancing bras are often seen as a simpler alternative to the plastic surgeon's knife.
The new ultimate bra on the street soon, along with plastic surgeons.
Yet some would say that any kind of breast enhancement is not a good idea.
I think people who wear bras that enhance or change them are completely bonkers. I mean, I suppose it's marginally better than plastic surgery, where you have silicone gels inserted into you and that may very well burst within 5 years. But it seems to me the biggest achievement that an individual can make is to adjust themselves to what they are and who they are, as they were born, as it were.
Despite her critics, Michelle's confidence remained unshaken. She began the far from glamorous task of securing distribution and retail space.
So we're doing it in plain microfibre all the way round, and also microfibre with lace.
The microfibre will definitely oversell the lace. I can say that now, right away. I swear to God, yeah, anyone who's ever worn a Wonder Bra is going to go for that. I don't even wear Wonder Bras, and I definitely wear them.
Our major competitor is obviously Wonder Bra. You know, we're this size compared to them being that size. But that doesn't frighten me.
MGM are a competitor mainly for Wonder Bra and Gossard Super Boost in the bust enhancement range. We treat them seriously as a competitor because they take retail space from us.
But when you look at more of the cleavage-enhancing brands, yes, MJM will probably go after the likes of Wonder Bra and Gossard. But competition's healthy, and let's see what they can bring to the market. They brought gel bras to the market, and that had its lifetime. So let's see what they're going to do next.
MJM faced an uphill struggle in the early years, but they have survived to become an established player in many countries across the world.
I suppose if I knew that the big boys would be after me in certain ways, then I wouldn't have started up. But I was really young, I was 24 at the time, I was naive, and you know, that's why I just continued to carry on. And I think I've grown up about 30 years and I'm a lot more streetwise. You know, you've constantly got to keep up and constantly got to try and innovate as well, because if you don't, you just become stale, and you know, you're only as good as your last sale. So it's constantly thinking what we're going to do next. So the big launch is tomorrow, okay, so we've got to make sure that everything is in place.
Making the journey down to London, Michelle is putting the final touches to one of the most important promotional events of her entire career. This is the day she will be relaunching the MJM brand by presenting her new collection in one of the most prestigious retail outlets in the world. Taking no chances, Michelle has enlisted the help of celebrity supermodel Rachel Hunter, who has flown in specially from LA. Whilst Michelle Mone prepares to meet the press, others are using a more provocative sales approach in their battle for market share. But is this a risk they can afford to take? And what kind of customers can they hope to attract? In a fiercely competitive business, today's bra manufacturers need the creative vision to identify a market niche combined with the commercial ability to fill it. As society evolves, women are becoming more confident in exploring their own sensuality in their own ways, on their own terms.
Women aren't afraid to go out and buy underwear that makes them feel sexy and glamorous. And in actual fact, you only have to look at the high street to see that stores are actually selling on the fact that they offer glamorous, sexy lingerie that will enhance your sex life.
Now an established player on the high street scene, Anne Summers set out to provide a comfortable environment where women could shop for sensuous lingerie and bras.
When I first started the company, it was men that were buying underwear for women, in the main sexy underwear. And the choice was very limited. And of course what a man thinks is sexy is actually quite different to what a woman thinks is sexy. That's what we've tried to do, is create an environment that women feel that they are, making more of the decisions of what they feel is sexy and what they want to buy. And, it's worked.
Hi, Nan. Have I got this on the right fitting on the back?
Yeah, it looks good. How does it feel?
Well, it feels
basically, I go to shop openings and I'll see 3 generations in the store at any one time. You see mums coming in with their daughters, couples coming in. And I think because we've created a very fun ethos, it makes people feel totally comfortable coming into the store.
We also have to spend stocking to people as well.
There's a very strong element of empowerment. I think that if you'd look perhaps in the 50s, the attitude was, well, you have to wear one of these things in order to catch your man. Whereas now it's much more, I'm going to wear this thing, I'm going to enjoy myself, I'm going to feel good about myself, and I'm going to get whatever I want, whatever it is.
One of the most high-profile names to introduce a sensual touch to the market is Agent Provocateur, and they have even influenced the high street stores.
What we've done is create a place that existed in our imagination. It was sort of in our fantasy. We always imagined it existed somewhere else, and it didn't exist. And so we created the sort of fantasy idea through our passion for the lingerie. One of the things that we set out to do in the very beginning was not only provide beautiful lingerie, but was also to change people's attitude towards enjoying their femininity. We look on it as a celebration of femininity.
This is fantastic. This is by a designer we support, Fifi Chanel. This one is called India. It is amazing.
In the UK, you had a lot of sort of puritanical attitude, people that thought it should be hidden away behind closed curtains. I mean, the fact is everyone wears lingerie. It's just some people wear more beautiful lingerie than others.
It's got this binding on the bra.
As the purchase of sexy bras and lingerie continues to grow, just what kind of customer does Agent Provocateur attract?
You've got 2 styles. You've got more of a quarter cup.
Our customer base is wide and varied. I like it. It's quite democratic in the sense that, in the line by the counter, you might have a pop star next to the checkout girl from the supermarket, next to the cab driver, next to the city banker. Everybody has got one common interest, and that is, sexiness at the end of the day.
Even so, critics still claim that companies like Agent Provocateur care less about women's image of themselves and more about men's fantasies of women.
If it's fun, that's fine. If it's part of the sort of sexual oppression of some some woman, if you've got Albanian women in a bordello being forced to wear these things, then it's no longer very funny or very attractive. But I think for the individual, if that's how they want to spend their money. But I think it would be quite wise for them to find out a little bit of the history of why they're doing what they're doing, when they're doing it.
Women don't always do everything for men, quite the opposite sometimes. I don't think we feed that stereotype of, you know, women dressing for men. Some women do dress for men, some women want to dress for men, and that's fine, that's great. And some women want to dress for themselves, and if she happens to show it to someone, then all the better. But if not, you know, it's really about her.
The success of companies such as Agent Provocateur in taking sexy lingerie mainstream has attracted many competitors into what is now a crowded market niche.
Now, if you were to try to get into the market, you would find it very difficult, because in those 10 years, not only have all those fashion houses started lingerie ranges, but so has every high street retailer decided, oh, we want to get into the fashionable lingerie sector, if you like. And so now it's very hard, and not everyone's going to survive. We like to provoke. We like to provoke people's senses, their ideas. We like to make people think a little bit more and have fun as well. It's not all too serious. It's really important to have fun with it as well. But yeah, I believe in provoking every now and again.
The bras themselves are not the only weapons manufacturers deploy as they try to associate their products with the glamour and excitement of supermodels and celebrities.
When we talk about supermodels, what we really mean is A, internationally recognisable, and B, hugely aspirational women. You're talking amazingly beautiful. If you could change your body and your looks, this is how you'd want to be.
The first real supermodel to be associated with bras was Eva Herzegovina in the famous Hello Boys campaign.
It was great, you know, it was a great campaign. I thought they'd done a great job, it had success, you know, it was just perfect.
I mean, there was a time when you couldn't move for the Hello Boys ads. You know, every 48-sheet poster site in London had, you know, a black and white picture of Eva Herzegovina's cleavage. And largely her celebrity was linked to the amount of money they spent. You know, you could stop someone in the pub and say, have you seen that bra model on the side of that building? And they'd know what you were talking about.
Eva was an unknown model. She was still on the catwalks well known, but to the wider audience, the consumers, she wasn't really known. But when she put Wonder Bra on, she suddenly became this superstar. And how we sort of on a PR way looked at it was, if you wear a Wonder Bra tonight, you can be the superstar down at your local disco, at work or whatever, by putting on a Wonder Bra. And they thought, well, it worked for Eva Herzegovina, so it can work for me.
Based on the celebrity they achieved as bra girls, many of the models have launched into other successful careers.
I have lots of things going on, you know. I just had a movie that came out with Andy Garcia called Modigliani, and I'm working on another project with Abel Ferrara. I got my collection out, I'm in love, work is going good, family is good.
As time went on, the concept changed from using unknown models, who the product made famous, to the use of well-known faces who brought their own fame with them.
One of the ways that we moved the Wonder Bra campaign on was we worked with Eva for a few years and then we moved on to Adriana. Adriana was great for us. Her husband was a professional footballer. He was part of the World Cup winning team. So that gave a bit more meat to her story and interest to the youth public.
I'm fine. They appreciate when they meet me. That's what I like, that it's never a bad experience. They recognize me, they say hi to my husband, and they wish me good luck, they wish me nice babies, and it's all, you know, amazing.
To try and get news now by putting a girl into a bra unless it's got some sort of other spin about it, it's more difficult because everybody's doing it. And so now what you've got to do, you've got to work that much harder with the PR to do it and have this sort of secondary spin to the story.
Choosing the right celebrities, I would say, a very difficult thing, because it's all about getting media coverage, it's all about how much PR you can get, it's all about how many times you can get into the consumer press or on the television or in the newspaper.
For one of their major campaigns, Pretty Polly chose to work with the popular R&B artist Jamelia.
She's really the figurehead of her generation. She knows her own mind. She is very much her own woman, and she is developing a fantastic career, very, very talented. By using someone like Jamelia, we can really reach and talk to our target customer.
I think people want someone in the public eye that they can relate to, and I think I'm definitely one of those people. I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm many things other than just a singer. So I think people can kind of relate to and resonate with me and my struggle as a woman, and I think that's what people want nowadays. They're not interested in people who say I can afford 50 million cars or anything like that. They want real people, and I think I'm one of them.
So it's not just about having how a person looks, but it's also buying into what they do and what they stand for.
Are all the images in from the printers?
At MJM, Michelle Mone is launching her latest range with the help of supermodel Rachel Hunter, the former wife of singer Rod Stewart.
There's no point in having someone who's 6 stone and who looks like a skeleton and has not got a bit of meat on her, because people are not going to, like that. They're not going to feel that they can relate to that person. So it's always been someone that I think's got a womanly figure, and with Rachel, she's got 2 kids and she looks like a real woman.
That I have contributed to it as far as just image-wise, making sure women still feel comfortable. They don't have to be skinny. It's okay to have a woman's body, and I think that's great as part of Ultima embraces that. Just be comfortable with your body, find your sexiness. It doesn't matter what shape or you're in, size or whatever. There's always something for you.
The most successful models are those who can also speak up for the brand.
If it's the media campaign, of course, you have to be able to talk with press, to talk with people who are well educated, who are journalists, who are not stupid people at all. It's not just a small conversation. Of course, you have to do the research and be able to tell something.
But not everyone in the industry goes along with the celebrity idea.
I don't think you need a celebrity. I think if the product works and it's good and it's the marketplace needs it, why do you need a celebrity endorsing it?
Rigby and Pella believe that the secret of success lies not so much in wearing any particular brand of bra, but in making sure that the one you do wear actually fits.
75% of women are wearing the wrong size bra.
Hello. Hi there.
75%. That's a big percentage of women walking around in the wrong size bra.
Oh no, look at this. It's beautiful.
I see people walking down the street and I kind of just want to stop them and say, hey, I'll help you. Because they're wearing this bra where they've got 6 breasts coming out underneath their arms, over the top. It just looks horrific. So what we always try and say is just try and look as good under your clothes as you do on top.
I think we've probably got what we need, really.
We do not use a tape measure because we believe a tape measure doesn't work. The reason why we do this is because the manufacturers fit very, very different.
If you've got a low-cut top and you just have that's...
My girls are trained to know every single bra that's on the shop floor. So if a woman walks in as a 32D, we can say, OK, this customer will fit a 32D in maybe Rigby and Pella, but a 34C in Leisure B. That is why, it's so important to fit by eye. Hi. How can I help you? What are you looking for? People can have terrible backache, neck strain. Obviously, your body's going to be where it's taking the weight, especially if you're quite full in the bust, you're going to hunch forward. And a lot of people who are wearing the wrong size bra tend to cross their arms a lot more because they're kind of not very secure with themselves. So people that actually are wearing the right size bra are a lot more confident and sit up and say, hey, look at me, I'm wearing the right size, and feel good about themselves. Okay, now I'm just looking at what you're wearing now, and what's happening is it's doing absolutely nothing for you. It's literally just making you drop, and the stretch marks are going to start to show here because you're just literally dropping forward. What you need to do is actually be a little bit lifted and more secure in the bra. Turn around for me. Oh my word, this is just, wow. What have you done to this bra?
It doesn't do.
Okay, how do you wash your bras, madam? Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, you never put your underwear in the washing machine. You must hand wash. I mean, that is over probably months. You've probably done that. When you buy a bra, you always do it on the first row. Now, if I did that on the first row, what it's doing is it's just too loose. It's up here. Your bra should be sitting down here. So if I just turn you to the side, can you just lift your arm up for me? Can you see how it's lifting up?
Yeah.
What's happening is your whole body is just falling forward. It's not supporting you. Right, okay, so what we're going to look at is I'm going to show you why this bra fits you. Basically, you need to make sure the underwire lies. If I just turn you on your side to the behind the breast tissue. This is your breast tissue. Your bra was here. It's a B cut, right? You said 34B. Yeah. That is where your breast tissue still remains back here, so you need to lie behind it. Right. The back of your bra was up here. It should be down there and firm around the rib cage. So if we lift your arm up in the air again, you can see the back of your bra here, and the front is in one line and not moving, so it doesn't do this. Right, you with me? Yeah. So if we just turn you around, that bra fits you perfectly. It looks so much better. I know you like all this bosom, but trust me, when you're 40, you're going to suddenly go, oh my God, what have I done?
This is fun if I'm wearing like a normal jumper.
You said you did 34Bs when you go shopping.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what size you are?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
30E.
Oh my God. Okay.
Her bra, typical example of a badly fitting bra, was way too big in the back, and thus obviously it was riding up at the back, and she was obviously spilling out. So all she needed to do was literally take the back into a smaller back size and have a little bit more cup on the front, and it fitted her really nicely. Okay, now, not too bad. I mean, I must admit, you're quite neat the way you are. If I just turn you this way so we can see. Yeah, I mean, you're quite neat. I mean, it's gaping a little bit. It's not doing much for you. You've got a bit of bosom there, so it'd be nice to just show it off. But let's turn you round. See, look, this is where we've got the tightest row syndrome, okay? When you buy your bra, again, you always do it on the... Well, this is the second bra I can't undo. You always buy it on the first row, okay? Because then you've got somewhere. Now, what's happened is you've bought your bra from a very well-known department store, and it's stretched out, and you're trying to hold it on, and it's just, do you see what I'm saying? It's way too loose. You could jump in there with her. The bra doesn't just fall on, you have to actually move her into it. So can you see what I've achieved? Yeah. But it's got to be tighter. So we're trying to achieve a bosom here, so it pushes you in, but we need to do much tighter around the rib cage. Or people forget the adjusters. Yeah. Do you know what you do? You wear your bra for years and years and years, and then you suddenly go, oh, my adjusters need it. You always make sure that this is adjusted because they do move. Now, this is your breast tissue here. We're lying it behind. Your bra was probably about there. A little bit too short. I could even go slightly tighter around the back, which means she'd be a 28-inch around the back. Grace, she was a 28-inch back. Now, she was wearing a 34A, I believe. And of course, that was obviously riding up her back. I mean, a 28-inch bra is not available on the marketplace. You'd have to have that altered. You are going to get the gaping in here. The only way to eliminate that is to put some pads in the bottom to push you up a little bit. Dominica, she was too far outstretched. I mean, she was exit left and right, and she wasn't brought in together. And literally, all it is, again, was just taking the back size in to make it look a bit more firm and structured. You look very broad across the back, but it's because you've got such a wide separation. What you want to accomplish is this, to bring you in. Right. It looks like you're going like this, instead of being more in. It's a nice bra, and I can see why you like it, because it's plain, it's easy, it goes under everything. But it's not the most flattering for your body type. So when you put your bra on, don't just put it on and let it sit, because you've got to move yourself. You see how I just moved yourself into it? You've got to move yourself into it. And what that's achieved is it's pushed you more into the centre. Some people think, oh, I need loads of padding, but what you need to do is actually just fit the bra. Yeah. Look how nice that looks. Yeah, it does. But that's how a good fitting bra should feel and look. Yeah. So we're looking again, if we turn you to the side, the underwire lies behind the breast tissue. It's sitting nicely on the shoulder, okay? We turn you around like this.
The back of your bra should be nice and firm around the rib cage. And lift your arm up for me, and it's in one central line around the body, nice and firm. And literally, that is the sort of bra that you could go to bed in and feel like you could sleep in because it's so comfortable.
When you have the right fitting bra on, it can make you feel so much more confident, so much more, you know, yes, here I am, I'm wearing the right size bra. Your posture's much better, you're standing more upright, and you're like, yes, this is good. It just makes you feel like a new woman. You should feel so comfortable in your bra that you don't even know you're wearing it. As soon as you feel your bra, there's something wrong.
See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Back with MJM, Michelle Mone is almost ready to leave for her important launch at a famous London store.
OK, we've got a bit of a disaster at the moment because Selfridges corsets haven't turned up.
With photographers and journalists already in place, this could spell disaster for the whole event. In today's Battle of the Bras, competing against the major players means finding a market niche and knowing how to fill it. And today is crunch time for Michelle Mone. She has fought to establish her cleavage-enhancing bra and is now about to relaunch the brand with her latest designs.
The whole world of lingerie eyes today will be on us, so we're really, really proud to be launching in Selfridges. So it's got to go right, and you know, if something screws up, the press can turn against you. OK, we've got a bit of a disaster at the moment because Selfridges corsets haven't turned up, so we don't know where they are. Do you know when? I've no idea. I wonder if Michael would know, because we need to be there for the launch at 12, and we've got an hour and 15 minutes to go. Running up to a big launch, there's always a lot of challenges, and you know, years ago I used to flap and cry and get all stressed out, you know, but now you've just got to do what you can do in the time that you've got, and there's always going to be things that will go wrong. No corsets of anything, no pink ones at all. Well, where the hell are they? They get sent out a week ago. I mean, it doesn't take a week to deliver corsets. Even if someone has to physically go down to that warehouse and go through their warehouse and pick them out, they've got to be there. Kylie, when she launched her lingerie in Selfridges last year, she had about 29, 30 photographers. Rachel, at the moment, there's 67. And there's a big security problem. So Selfridges want to call them in at 25 at a time, and I'm saying you can't do that, because if you do that, then, you know, they'll turn against you and they'll moan that they've been waiting for a long, long time. They agree, but they're trying to come up with a solution, because if there's a security problem for health and safety reasons, they've got to do what they've got to do. Oh, I get extremely nervous. I didn't sleep a wink last night. I get so nervous in case, you know, Rachel wakes up and she feels sick or she's too tired. Oh, it's just, yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
But to Michelle's great relief, Rachel turns out fighting fit, and the missing corsets turn up just in time.
Oh, I've got the pens. Oh my God. The stock's all here. There's people still queuing up for autographs, and the manager just there, the department manager, said it's selling really well and it's just really launched now. You try and get as much PR coverage as possible. It's nice to get in all the newspapers, everything from the Sun to the Express to the Daily Mail to, you know, Scottish papers as well. And it's important that we get good coverage. But this is a big, big thing. This will probably be the biggest launch that Selfridges have got this year.
People want to see it on you, and she does a great job of pulling that together and making that work. And you know, there's a part of it is after I sat down to the autographs, and I was like going, oh God, these people are like fully dressed in their daytime stuff, and I'm sitting here with my breasts shoved together and like in this corset top. But you know, it's part of the job, and it was okay.
Rachel,
I think that Rachel has been a supermodel since she's been 17. She's an actress, she's a mum. Ultimo is not about the sort of 18-year-old young girls. It's about, you know, real women with a real figure, and she's just perfect for our brand.
So far so good, yeah.
I'm Maria from the press office. Hi, how are you?
Is it okay?
It's fantastic. Are you happy with everything?
Yeah, it's all
great.
No hiccups.
No, it's all gone very smoothly, so yeah.
Excellent, that's great. Press office, so if they're happy, I'm happy.
The most crucial thing is that the public buy the stuff. If the public don't buy the stuff and the new Black Label collection we're launching, there's absolutely no point in any of this.
As trends in style and fashion continue to evolve, and women's demands and expectations change, who could predict what new surprises lie in store in the ongoing Battle of the Bras?
Women will always be buying lingerie, and they will always be buying a bra, and that will never ever change.